Hey everyone, you guys asked for it and it's finally here. The Currency Wars Achievement Guide. In total, I counted that there were roughly 4,600 Stellar Jades up for grabs in the Currency Wars game mode, divided between the Ascension levels, tutorials, and the specific Bond Synergy achievements. That's up to around 30 pulls for your Silver Wolf SP Savings Fund. So whether you're stuck on how to complete those last few achievements, or you really don't like Currency Wars, but you want those Stellar Jades, this guide is for you. Now, before we get started, there's some quick housekeeping rules that will make this process a lot easier for you. For starters, you want to reach the Amethyst Gold rank in Currency Wars. Each Bond Synergy has an achievement tied to playing the mode at this rank, so hitting this before going on those achievement runs will reduce how many times you've got to play these specific comps. Next up, you'll also want to make sure that you've activated the Environment Refresh node in the Advantage Layout skill tree, as most of these team comps will want a specific emblem-related investment environment in order to hit multiple Bond Synergy goals in the same run. So being able to re-roll the investment environment will minimize how many resets overall you'll need. Third, the team comps I put together here are really just designed to help you get the achievements. I know they're not the strongest, but they will get the job done so you can move on with your life. And lastly, I won't be going as in-depth on the step-by-step for each comp. One, because you'll be playing at Amethyst Gold difficulty, so it'll be a lot easier than normal. And two, I don't want you to have to sit through an hour-long video. So what we will be doing is covering an all-purpose opening board to get you started no matter the comp, outline what your final team will need to be to get the achievement, and mention some ideal items for your carry to make things as smooth as possible. With all of that out of the way, to kick things off, let's talk about the opening board. To no one's surprise, if you've seen any of my other Currency Wars videos, subscribe for more, you know that the damage over time in Cosmic Scholar opening is surprisingly good at letting you breeze through Plane 1 while also building up gold through the Cosmic Scholar Bond Synergy. At Amethyst Gold difficulty, it doesn't even really matter if they have items, so just focus on slotting in at least 2 damage over time and 2 Cosmic Scholar. In the meantime, start holding whichever units you may need for the achievement you're going for as you save gold throughout Plane 1. Plane 2 is when you'd ideally start transitioning into your actual team comp. However, if you still haven't found your carry yet, or it's someone to function as your carry, you could leave in the damage over time synergy to help you out as you look for them. Now, you don't have to use this opener, but if you're not really familiar with auto chess style games, or you hate them and don't want to think about it, this is a simple and repeatable way to get through the early stages. With that being said, it's time for the fun part, the Bond Synergy achievements. Again, this is the part that will require some resetting as you'll be fishing for specific investment environments in order to guarantee specific emblems at the start of your run so you can just focus on finishing it. First up, we have the Wolf Hunt and Heal Bond Synergies. For this comp, you'll want to reset for the Wolf Hunt's Invitation investment environment for that Wolf Hunt emblem. And the final board that you're going to be looking for will be Zhao Guo, Mo's, Fei Xiao, Ling Xia, Jing Liu, Yan Qing, Yan Li, Luocha, and Hyacinth. Jing Liu and Yan Qing will be the carries you itemize, although in reality, the Wolf Hunt bot is going to be doing all of the damage, so just enjoy the ride. Also, keep in mind that you'll want to hit level 9 to fit all of the units, so I wouldn't spend a lot of gold trying to reroll to 3-star your Jing Liu. Next up, we have the Xianzhou Bond comp. For this comp, I'd reroll for the Xianzhou's Invitation investment environment to let you hit Xianzhou 5 early. And for the most part, this comp almost feels like playing damage over time or Wolf Hunt, since the Lightning Lord will really just be carrying you through the early game. The final comp will look like Huo Huo, Yao Guang, Skill Point Dan Heng, Fugue, Fu Xuan, Jing Yuan, Sparkle, and Sparksy. Functionally, this comp is a weaker version of the skill point comp, so you can give items like the anti-grab boot to Yao Guang for more Lightning Lord procs and Firestorm surges to Dan Heng. I'd also recommend slow rolling for 3-star Dan Heng at level 6, as that will also fulfill the regular challenge achievement of winning with the 3-star 2 cost. Lastly, if you're blessed by RNG and you can get a skill point emblem by either combining a Sapphire and Folding Knife or the skill point emblem investment strategy, you can actually also hit the skill point Bond Synergy achievement as well. In this case, the comp would look like Yao Guang, Huo Huo, Fugue, Fu Xuan, Yan Qing, Sparkle, Seredra, Skill Point Dan Heng, and Sparksy. Now, if you're like me and you don't get lucky, you can still hit the skill point achievement by going the normal skill point comp using the final board of Yao Guang, Dan Heng, Seredra, Sparkle, Sparksy, Archer, Huo Huo, Luocha, and Sunday. Next up, we have the Night Demigod and Bloodflame Bond Synergies. You'll want to reset for the Bloodflame's Invitation investment environment to enable the team comp of Cypher, Mighty, Shield Dan Heng, Seredra, Evernight, Castoris, Cyrene, Bronya, and Blade. Your main carries here are going to be Castoris and Evernight, so load them up with items like the High Frequency Chainsaw and Starcleaver Blade and enjoy some Mono Remembrance Premium. After that, we have the Day Demigod and AoE Bond synergies. You'll want to reroll for the Day Demigod's Invitation investment environment, and more importantly, you'll need to ultimately hit level 10 to fit all of the units. This also has the added benefit of letting you hit one of the regular challenge achievements of reaching level 10. Your final team comp will look like Little Herda, Jade, Argenti, Tribi, Anaxa, Big Herda, Jingyuan, Cyrene, Hyacinth, and Aglia. As you might expect, you'll be utilizing Big Herda as the main carry here, mainly because it's cheaper than 3-starring Anaxa. So you can give her items like the Firestorm Surge and High Frequency Chainsaw, and then Anaxa something like the Anti-Grab Boots and Day Lightspeed Propeller so he can function as a battery. One big tip here is to try and prioritize investment strategies that give you gold or econ to help you hit level 10. Next up, we have the Belobog and Quantum Resonance Bond synergies. For this comp, if you're offered the Belobog's Invitation investment environment, you can complete the comp at level 8, but you can actually hit both synergies at level 9 naturally, so you don't have to worry about rerolling for it. And outside of that, this is actually a relatively normal Sela carry comp. So your final board will look like Pela, Natasha, Sparkle, Fu Xuan, Silver Wolf, Sela, Japard, Bronya, and then Sampo if you need to go to level 9. Lastly, you can kit out your Sela with items like the Firestorm Surge and High Frequency Chainsaw, and you can slow roll to 3-star her at level 7. After that, we have the Express Cohort Bond synergy. This one is honestly pretty awkward, but you can form a semi-functional team if you have the Express Cohort's Invitation investment environment. The team comp will be a form of a break carry setup, with Ling Sha, March 7th, Fugue, Himeko, Vidalia, Remembrance MC, Welt, and Sunday. If possible, you could do a Lingsha break carry by slow rolling for her 3-star at level 6 and then giving her double Firestorm Surges with the Wormhole Drill. However, if you don't have the Express Cohort emblem, you'll need to go to level 9 in order to also fit Skill Point Donghong onto the team. Next up, we have the Cosmic Scholar and Damage Over Time synergies. For this, you'll need Cosmic Scholar's Invitation, otherwise you can't get 6 Cosmic Scholars. Furthermore, you'll also need to hit level 9 for this comp if you want to run a sustain unit for the final boss, so keep your econ in mind. The final board will look like Little Herda, Ron May, Dr. Ratio, Big Herda, Asta, Kafka, Black Swan, Hycelin, and then a sustain unit like Luocha. Alternatively, if you can build a caloric overload, you might be able to get away without running a sustain unit. Lastly, you can equip your Hycelin with items like the Starcleaver Blade and the Charging Sail while giving your Black Swan items like the Orbital Railgun or Firestorm Surge to help with the damage. After that, up next are the Galaxy Ranger and Debuff synergies. This is actually just a generic Acheron carry comp, so no specific investment environments are needed. The full comp will look like Acheron, Zhao Kuo, Cypher, Welt, Yangqing, Pela, Boothill, and Rappa, with Boothill and Rappa being placed off-field in order to activate the Galaxy Ranger buff for Acheron. For items, you can give Anti-Grav Boots to Pela to battery Acheron, and give Acheron items like the High Frequency Chainsaw, Hun Generator, and Firestorm Surge. Next up, we have the Break and Stellaron Hunter synergies. As a preface, this one is a bit trickier. You'll need the Break Invitation's investment environment, and you'll need to hit level 10. As such, things like 3-star Himeko are kind of off the table unless you high roll. You'll also want to prioritize any goal-generating investment strategies you might find to help along the way. Your final team comp should look like the Dahlia, Ron May, Ling Sha, Fugue, Himeko, Boothill, Firefly, Blade, Silver Wolf, and Kafka. And for items, you could use something like double Firestorm Surge and Wormhole Drill for Himeko for the early through mid game. Then, once you get Firefly, you can transfer the items over to her for the remainder of your run. After that, we have the follow-up attack and IPC synergies. This is another straightforward comp, so no specific investment environments or strategies are needed, and you'll hit all the units at level 8. The final comp will look like Dr. Ratio, Fei Xiao, Aventurine, Cypher, Mose, Robin, Topaz, and Jade. And then for items, Dr. Ratio is going to be your main carry here, so giving him items like the Firestorm Surge and Anti-Grav Boots will help out a lot. Furthermore, you'll also want to roll at level 7 in order to 3-star him, partially to help him deal damage, and partially to fulfill the requirements for one of the regular challenge achievements of 3-starring a 3-cost unit. Next up, we have the Planet of Festivities synergy. This is going to be another weird one. You'll want the Planet of Festivities Invitation investment environment, with the end goal of being able to fit in 4 damage over time. Your final board will look like the Dahlia, Sampo, Sparkle, Black Swan, Hycelins, Robin, Sunday, and Kafka. Since this is functionally a damage over time board, you want to give damage items like the Starcleaver Blade to Hycelins and I personally placed her on the leftmost slot on field so that she'd be the recipient of Sunday's Planet of Festivities buff. Up next, we have the Galactic Voyager Synergy. You'll want the Galactic Voyager's Invitation investment environment in order to pull off a pseudo skill point comp with the Sparksy carry. Your final board should look like Yao Guan, Argenti, Saber, Dr. Ratio, Luocha, Sparkle, Sparksy, and Archer, and for items, you can give Sparksy items like the Firestorm Surge to make for a smoother run. After that, we have the Energy Bond Synergy. You'll want the Energy's Invitation investment environment, and functionally, the comp will basically be a version of the Aglia wheelchair comp. As such, your final team will look like Aglia, Huo, Tribi, Hyacinth, Saber, Sunday, Remembrance MC, and Yun Li. As a reminder, you'll want to reroll for 3-star Aglia around level 5, which will also fulfill one of the regular challenge achievements for 3-starring a 1-cost unit. Lastly, in terms of items, you'll just give Aglia her wheelchair core of double anti-grav boots and the Day Lightspeed propeller. And last up, we have the Shield Bond Synergy. The thought for this comp is that it's a version of the Sela carry comp, just using shield units. So your final team will look like Sela, March 7th, Shield Dan Hong, Sparkle, Aventurine, Fu Xuan, Japard, and Silver Wolf. Again, you're gonna want to reroll at level 7 for Sela, and you'll give her items like the Firestorm Surge and the High Frequency Chainsaw. And that finally wraps up the Bond Synergy achievements. From here on out, the remainder of the Stellar Jades are going to come from Ascension levels, ranking up, completing the startup guide, and collecting investment environments and strategies. In short, you're going to need to play more of the game mode. Again, in order to climb ranks, I'd suggest just spamming one of the stronger team comps like Aglia Wheelchair, Sparksy Skill Point, or my new favorite, Boot Hill Break. And if you're interested, I've actually got dedicated videos for these if you need some help figuring them out. And that about does it for this Currency Wars achievement guide. I hope you found it helpful as you're building up your pull savings. Let me know in the comments if there are any other kinds of achievement guides you'd like me to make, like one for the upcoming Divergent Universe update. Subscribe for more Honkai Star Rail videos, and most importantly, have a blessed day.